So while I am sitting here in total shock, wondering how after everything that happened over the summer, with cousin coming here and just with everything that happened over the summer, up until a couple months ago, how it's possible that my mother is right now and at her sister's, at Auntie's. How is this possible, people? You think I'm not in a state of total shock, and walking hand in hand, accompanied by a state of denial, but then think again. I cannot believe this. Cannot believe it. Yeah, I've pretty much lost my mother. In the end, to her, and believe me, a lot of her ignorant friends and her family, whatnot, will back up her. Like to her, I'm horrible for talking about her on the internet, you know. Because again, I don't matter. I'm supposed to just. What am I supposed to do, people? Just be a lug, right? I'm supposed to just not care what any of her family does to me or any of her friends do to me. I'm just supposed to not care. I'm just supposed to be nothing, right? I'm just supposed to... And I'm horrible for exposing it. But non-ignorant people know that's a bunch of hooey. Why do you have to talk about me on the internet? How could I ever talk about my life, my existence, have any kind of blog or an autobiography or anything without talking about you, Mom? You and I have been intertwined very, very, very intimately, closely since my birth, you know? I told you I have never my mother and I have been like this. Always. Even when I was fucking 3,000 miles away. Even when I was living with Donald Hope in that abusive relationship. I was always in constant contact, frequent, often, with my mother. I've never not been a continuous I've never not been a constant part of my mother's life, and vice versa. We've never. Okay? A lot of parents and children aren't like that. There are a lot of parents and children that are, you know, they live in separate states and they have real busy lives and they don't always, they keep in contact sporadically. I was in frequent contact with my mother over the phone or by, you know what I mean? I've always been. Always been close to my mother, and my heart is always broken for this, you know, burden she had to carry, this debilitating mental illness, and all this accompanying stigma, you know, over something she didn't ask for and that's not her fault. Tired, people. I'm tired of just... Oh yeah, I definitely lashed out at cousin when she was getting on my case about YouTube because it's hurting our chances of of your mother getting out of this without, you know, it's like, fuck you. Seriously, fuck you. What about me? What about the fact that when you're sitting there in your nice, cozy little home with your family, I'm sitting here all by myself with my dog, and my only lifeline is this fucking YouTube that you telling me I shouldn't do? Go fuck you. I love you. I appreciate the fact that you were briefly a part of my life again, but go, you know, fuck you. You're not going to tell me what to do. The same with that lawyer. I am not getting therapy right now, and she's not going to blackmail me, even if in ever so concerned way. I'm going to tell my shelter friend that. I'm like, you know what? I might get back into therapy once Omar and I are safely in a new home. I'm not getting back into therapy now just because that lawyer pretty much ordered me to do it. If that would be the stipulation of her helping me, you know. I'm not going to put up with that shit, people. I'm tired. I'm so fucking tired of it all. Do you know... I escaped from that goddamn landlord, okay? I've been suffering, I was in trauma. It was terrifying. The house is empty except for that one, my upstairs bedroom. You know, I'm upstairs, I can't go anywhere because I have Omar. I can't leave him because if he would cry definitely, and I told you they're very detached, the whole family, and that would be their excuse to... You know, he'd already lied about me, called me, sent me that horrible thing that I'm a pervert, that he caught me in family witnesses, he's spying on his daughter nursing her baby and peeking in windows, all fucking lie. But anyway, I spent a whole day getting Omar here that Tuesday. And I wound up being up at the end of the month, because I got Omar here. That Tuesday, here to my mom safely. So remember, I was trying to pack and up stuff, but I was also posting videos. And then Wednesday I was served that stupid thing that was total bullshit, slandering me. And then, you know, it might behoove you to go and look into shelters or whatnot instead of constantly posting videos bemoaning your fate. Yeah, you're a fucking prick. You knew I was your landlord's, you know, subtenant or whatnot. I don't care. You're an asshole. So anyway, when I got that, I was like terrified, because if he would lie like that and have that served to me, and later my caseworker, the judge, was like, I don't think he even filed this with the police. I think you can. I didn't know at the time. He was just trying to scare me and whatnot, but it worked, and I immediately got out of there, and I got all my stuff here, to my mom's. Right? I'd been through trauma. Again, fucked over when I did nothing wrong, okay? And remember, fucked over by Auntie too, because she had told the park here and showed the pictures of the notes, and that she had to break into my mom's house. My mom was in the hospital, and etc. You know, nobody cares that I stepped out of the plate and saved my mom. No, you know, Auntie steps in and that's it. And I had destroyed my mom's house. It's all lies, right? So she had arranged it so I wasn't even allowed to be here in my mom's house at all. Although, remember, they're not even there here on the weekends, and they couldn't enforce anything. But remember, it's because Auntie can convince anybody how I feel about Auntie, since Auntie's so wonderful and is always, always, always only out for my mother's best interest. Then if I wrote horrible things to Auntie, then that equates to me feeling that way about my mother. Okay. That's a bunch of hooey too, but that's what Auntie constantly is able to convince ignorant people, you know, to think, you know, to think along those lines that Auntie wants them to think along, you know. So We paid extra to get here last minute, and I was able to drive with the movers. So I was keeping all my stuff here. Stayed over Thursday night. And apparently, you know, my mom lacks the ability to ever, like, she can't keep a secret, or if someone asks her something, she has to tell them. And from what I know, I had brought Omar here, and I think that Tuesday or something, or maybe it was the prior week. Whatever it was, either Auntie had heard Omar barking over the phone, or she'd come here and seen him or whatnot, okay? Something, whatever. But anyway, I got here Thursday, and I stayed over Thursday. I remember I had just been through hell, more trauma. This is my mother's home. She wanted me here. Even if it's on the sly, the only reason I couldn't be here, because remember, she had a doctor's note. The only reason I couldn't be here was because Auntie had slandered me, and it was all not true. Mom, just let me stay here. You don't have to tell Auntie. But what if she asks me? Okay? Well, guess what? Friday, she did ask. And my mom told the truth. My mom has this thing where she just has to tell the truth. It benefited me recently because she didn't want to tell me the exact events that transpired at the bank, but she told me. Okay? Auntie had arranged for me, you know, so I'm not supposed to be here, but who's going to know? Well, what if she asked me? Well, Friday she did. Laura's not there, is she? Because what happened was Auntie knew something was up, because if I brought Omar here, that meant I can't keep Omar in my arms. Auntie's always thinking, you know, she wants to make sure. Laura's not there, is she? And I said, and she goes, well, she's here, but she's leaving. She stayed over Thursday night. And then, because I hate this woman, I know she's slandering me and saying I destroyed the house, blah, 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 bullshit, right? She hadn't even fixed the goddamn thing so my mom could use the washer. Remember, my mom, in her madness, had paid for this way too big washer to be put in that you couldn't even fit it. You couldn't open the dryer door because there's like doors in there that were blocked off because of this big washer and whatnot. That might not be one person every day, but whatever. I couldn't stop her from doing anything. She was doing whatever she wanted, whatever the fuck she wanted to during those ages, including destroying her own house. Okay? Trying to get into the huge fucking pig pen disaster mess, okay, that I got blamed for. Is that unbelievable? So, Auntie says on Friday, Laura's not there, is she? And my mom goes, oh, well, she just stayed over Thursday night. She brought her stuff here, but she's leaving. And Auntie was like, I don't care if her stuff's there as long as she's not there. And then I was in the background saying, no, you should have, all this time, okay, you had all this time, my mom's husband, you should have fixed the thing with the doors or whatnot. And I could hear her through the phone talking to my mom, I don't want to hear that bitch's voice, blah, blah, blah. And know what she says to my mom? Just to show you. Because I think it was Heavyweight who hit the nail on the head too, that my mom's terrified of her sister, okay? And it's so sick and sad, and this is my mother, okay? She wanted me here, but again, she bows down. She feels like she has to do whatever her sister tells her to do, even in regards to me, her daughter, my mom's daughter, whatnot. I don't want to hear that bitch's voice, blah, 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 whatever. Because remember, all the notes I'd left, they're all truthful. They weren't like, oh, I hate you, you're a cunt. No. They were all about how my mom had met, was fighting or was going to get a lawyer, the power of attorney wasn't worth the papers printed on, etc. You shouldn't be throwing, it was all that kind of stuff. All intellectually sound, okay? You know what Auntie said to my mom on that Friday? And when I was later on the train talking to Joe, he's like, you should have just stayed. You should have just stayed, and when she came, you should have said, whatever she was going to say to you, you just keep saying, you're a liar. You're an insult to whatever. You just throw family away and blah, 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 and you're that's what, but I didn't want to do that, and I wasn't going to do that to my mother, you see. My mom can't handle that. I wasn't going to stay here, but this is what happened. This is what Auntie said over the phone to my mom. I'm going to come over there early in the morning, and if she's still there, and then she, whatever, didn't finish the sentence. I'm going to come over there early in the morning, Samantha, and your daughter better not be there. And my mom was terrified. So I had to leave at the last minute. Could have stayed the weekend, and instead Friday and Saturday night, and think about it, how I'm feeling. I'm just feeling like total shit. Can't stay where I lived with my mom for over a year. It's just ridiculous. Her sister says that, and I have to go because she's terrified, and she's gonna make that of Auntie coming here and making good and finding me here and whatnot, making good of her, and that's it. Gotta leave out the door Friday night. So of course I was like, fuck it. I'm not going to the fucking shelter. I'm not going to the fucking shelter. I just been through hell, and now I can't even stay with my mom and just relax and whatnot. You think I was sleeping much or whatever? I was terrified that landlord was gonna make good, and if he'd already slandered me, and you don't know what he's up to, and remember he had done the phony 911 call, and I'm still there, and I don't know what he's gonna do next, and then I can't even come here with my mother and be with my mother and my dog. No, gotta go out in the street. Because Auntie's is gonna come here and make sure I'm not here. I'm gonna come there early in the morning. She said early in the morning to make sure I didn't stay over that next night and leave early in the morning. By the way, my mom told me she didn't actually show up early in the morning. It was just an empty threat, but it was enough I had to leave. I'm like, whatever, Mom, whatever. And then I left the thing on the door. I said, make sure when Auntie comes here, again, you show her that slander is a crime, blah, 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 whatever. My mom did show her that, and Auntie didn't care. She's like, I'll sue her for slander. See, she's just delusional. She tells people, everyone will listen to her, that I destroyed my mom's house. I have one of the things I said on the door thing that I taped up there, and I taped it good all around so she wouldn't be able to just immediately tear it down. She'd have to, I have 2 witnesses that I didn't destroy my mom's house. She doesn't care. She's crazy. She's crazier than she makes other people out to be. But I had to leave, and I damn well wasn't going to go back to that shelter in these circumstances. You wonder why I don't, I wasn't going to do it. So I ultimately didn't do it Friday or Saturday and spent like $400 on hotels. It's the weekend. That first night, forget it. I mean, you're not going to get anything cheaper than $200 or around $200. The next night, it was only a little bit cheaper. It wound up costing me almost $400 because I wasn't allowed to stay here with my own mother who wanted me here. We're not talking moving back in, okay? We're talking just let me spend the goddamn weekend. Let me just catch up on nope. I'm going to come over there early in the morning. And since she goes to work, it would be real early, like 6 or 7, real early, just to make sure that my mother did not let me stay into the night. I'm going to come over there real early in the morning, and your daughter better not be there. Okay? And yeah, that's exactly how she said it on the phone to my mother. My mother was terrified. And I'm out the door. Damn well wasn't going to go to the shelter. And I didn't go the next night either. And yeah, I went out to bars, I drank, I did whatever. Why not? Think about it. Anybody who's not ignorant can see how fucking just never end, how sick this is. Just ongoing sick. Okay? I hadn't done anything wrong. I hadn't destroyed my mom's house. I hadn't, and again, because Auntie had the power of attorney, could do what she wanted, and because my mom's terrified of Auntie. Whether or not my mom admits it is irrelevant. I know the truth about that. I had to leave right then. That's what I did. It's ridiculous. It is. It's absolutely sick. It's sick. It's just, you know. That's why one of the things that my mom later wrote when she wrote that letter to cousin, you know, how Auntie made Laura go into a shelter and whatnot. I had to go back. And I did go back, but not for 2 days. What does it matter what I spend? What does anything matter? My mother's sister forced my mother to just throw me out of my mother's house based on my mother's sister's slander of me. Not based on anything that was valid. And then I have to hear Joe when I called him to, like, well, you should have just stayed. You should have stayed and faced down Auntie. I'm not going to do that to my mother, Joe. It's her house. I'm going to leave and I'm going to go get shit-faced. I mean, you know, I had to deal with that, contend with that. I would have stayed here and not drank. I would have stayed here and saved $400 in hotels. When I later told my mom what I'd spent, she felt bad. But someone like Auntie or anybody ignorant would just say, well, you didn't have to. You could have just gone straight to the shelter. Yeah, you're right, I could have. I wanted a little bit of fun. I wanted a little bit of whatever. I'd been through yet more trauma with the Bobby and the landlord, you know, and being slandered by Auntie, well, the things I know I didn't do, and that my mom's social worker and that advocate knew 100% I didn't destroy my mother's house, you know. But Auntie gets away with forever, and now it's going to all over again, all new stuff already. Even before my mom was even locked out of the hospital and deemed competent, I'm hearing bullshit coming from my mom about Auntie. She says she's been paying the bills. She hasn't been paying the bills. Well, she says she has. I've been paying the bills. They've been paid twice then. Auntie had to say lie. While my mom was locked up and deemed incompetent in the mental hospital, only cares her sister's visiting her and showing her love. She'd be happy to talk to Dahmer, Manson, whatever, his cousin put in the criminal complaint against the hospital. Okay. My mother's not even deemed competent, and I have to hear her bullshit that it's coming through Auntie, you know, via Auntie, through my mother to me, you know. She hasn't been paying the bills. I've been paying them. How? I used your checkbook, signed your cousin, said you could do that. Well, she's been paying the bills. They've been paid twice then. Well, it's funny because I called, but how am I supposed to say this to my mom in a mental hospital? See, that's how Auntie convinced my mom to sign that handwritten piece of paper. Still can't believe that one. The fucking, again, hospital deserves to be closed down. Staff allowed my deemed incompetent, locked up in a mental hospital mother to sign something. The woman who I had told them from my mother when well wanted nothing to do with and had a lawsuit against involving elder abuse and financial exploitation to sign something. Are you fucking kidding me, people? I don't care if it wasn't valid. That's not the point. They had no right to allow Auntie to put anything in front of my mother to sign. And the social worker, weeks before, it swore up and down, don't worry, that will never happen. And it did happen. It did happen. Okay? And I have to hear my mom saying, well, I gave her permission in the paper. I give so-and-so permission to pay all my bills and handle my finances while I'm in the hospital. Blah, 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 blah. Okay? Mom, I've been paying you. Oh, and then Mom was like, well, I'll tell her that she doesn't have to, that you're doing it. Yeah, that's not going to work, Mom. You already gave her that paper, and that's giving her, in her eyes, freedom to do whatever she wants again in regarding you and your finances and whatnot. You know? And it was a lie, but Auntie made sure to tell all confused mother, I've been paying your bills. And again, Auntie can say the moon's made out of green cheese, and my mother will believe it. And I have to argue, and it's pointless to argue. Recently, what did my mom say to me? Well, you say one thing and she says another. How do I know who's telling the truth? Because I don't lie, and your deceitful, manipulative cunt of a half-sister does nothing but lie, Mom. Because I don't lie, Mom. I thought she doesn't lie. Oh, my God. Why'd you bring a lawsuit against her? Oh, I'm sorry. You brought a lawsuit against her because Cousin and I totally forced you. Just like I forced you to write that handwritten letter that stated exactly how you felt about Auntie. I forced you to do that, right? And to send it off to Cousin, Mama. You know. But like Selena says, Auntie's gone too far. She's exposed. There's a lot of people now aware of what she's done and what she's been trying to do. And, you know, so she can't undo anything. And it's all out there now. And then I have to hear Mom's church friend, well, you know, just let her be at peace with her sister. She wants to be at peace with her sister. And I later left her a message. I want nothing to do with you. I appreciate the kindness you showed towards me, but respect me enough to stay away from me. I'm changing my phone number. And I also made sure to say, you know, I told her about you too, that in a heat of the moment, you know, the whole world knows what a piece of shit my mother's, you know, I said, what a piece of shit, and I asserted her name, you know, is and whatnot. I don't understand any of this. I don't deserve any of it, people. I don't deserve this shit. You say one thing and she says another. How do I know who's telling the truth? Yeah, Mama. Yeah. That about sums it up, huh? That about sums up this whole thing. You know, it's just sick. It's sick, you know? It's like... Tonight at least wash my face and then brush my teeth, but I'm drinking this water and the juice, you know what I mean? So chances are my nap won't last very long and I'll wake up and brush my teeth. I have to move over because he's right where I want to be. I think I'll start my nap where I just crash here for 2 hours or so with the lights on and, you know, sleep in my clothes anyway. time to do my little crashing here, probably without brushing my teeth. That's probably with the lights on, move them wherever, just keep the lights on so I don't sleep for very long, just call it a night.